Hey, Facebook, Todd Chance from the Fox 17 Morning Mix here with another Morning Mix Social. And today we're celebrating all things jazz. April is International Jazz Appreciation Month. There's a special day coming up in just a few weeks, couple weeks actually, to celebrate all things jazz. And there's really one place. And I say that proudly and sadly that there's really only one place that you can go to here in West Michigan to really get the jazz that you've been looking for. And it's all been brought to you by these fine people coming up. I'm going to show you right there. They are. Hold on. Let me bring you up. There they are. There's Shaitan and Nadia. How you guys doing?
Good. How are
you?
Good morning.
Well, it's
afternoon.
It's afternoon.
It is. Boy, it's hard to tell what time it is when you're working from home. You know, work and life have blurred together. So we had you guys on the show when you guys were just launching this thing, right? It was a concept. You were just building the brick and mortar. GRNoir was the name of the place. How has it gone over the past year? Obviously, the pandemic has really affected everyone's lives. What's it been like for GRNoir?
Yeah, so when we were on your show, I believe it was January, right before the pandemic hit, and so we were excited and preparing to open. Actually, April. Our plan was to open in April because of Jazz Appreciation Month, but again, COVID had other plans, and so we had to, pause and just like everyone else did, and so we did, and we waited it out, and it gave us a chance to really focus more on GRNoir, hire staff, make sure we curated our wine selections, our food menu, and just be ready when the time was right. And so here we are. It's been about 2 months now since we officially opened our doors, and things are going well. We can't thank the community enough for coming out and supporting us each and every day.
And having a good time. They are having a good time, let me tell you.
I bet they are. They've been waiting for this. I mean, they heard about it, then they had to wait. It was just like the biggest tease ever. It's like
longest, biggest tease.
We hear that often.
and I know we're going to bring Kevin in here too, because Kevin's got a very important job. He's the guy who curates the music. I mean, he's the guy who's bringing in the artists and the musicians. So we'll get to Kevin here in just a second. But I really wanted to talk to you two about. I've been going through your website here. I'm going to show this in stream here really quickly, and take this picture out. Let me see if I can do this right. There we go. And there we go. So I'm looking at this website of yours, right? This is what it actually looks like inside, right?
Yes.
That's gorgeous. I mean, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
You remember when we were together last time, you asked us what's the vibe that we were going for, and I said grown and sexy.
Right? You did say that.
Right.
Yeah. So Tiffany Eden Designs is responsible for the just the beauty of the place. We gave her a vision of what we were going for, and she delivered. It is absolutely stunning, and we're just thankful to have had a partnership with her.
I mean, it's an absolutely gorgeous looking place. I love the colors that you chose. I mean, I love just the palette of what this place is going to feel like. Now, I am noticing something that I've only seen in one other place. See this back wall over here? All right, let me get my cursor. All right, see right there?
Yes.
This thing here. All right. I saw one of these kind of similar over in Reserve Wine, which is another good place to get a wine. Is this what I think it is? Explain what this extremely expensive refrigerator is.
Extremely, with a capital E. Machine. Yeah, very expensive wine machine. So those are wine emotion machines, and we love them. When we thought about GRNoir, we wanted to have something to where we can accurately measure our pours. We want to make sure that, we had something that was, really nice to look at, but also something that, could fit our business model. And so what we can do with those machines is we can measure pours from 1 ounce, 3 ounce, or 5 ounce. They're temperature controlled. So for, people who enjoy wine, you can definitely, your colder your whiter wines are usually chilled, and so we have our temperature set at a temp that keeps those chilled, and then we have our red wines that are typically at room temperature. And so it works great. You get people that come in and they come up and they want a quick tour of the machines, like what are these things? And so they've been working great. Staff enjoy them. It makes us make sure we keep track of all the wines that we're pouring. It gives us a readout of what wines are moving, what wines are not moving, and so we enjoy them.
We built the model around these machines. So everything else is built around those machines. And the idea is to eventually, when it's safe, when we've worked with Congress, our legislature, to change the law so that Michigan can be a self-serving state like many of the surrounding states, folks will be able to come in, get their card, and do their own pours, which is how we came up with the concept. And it allows you to just kind of explore. And our business model is really about making wine and jazz accessible and being able to explore different wines at a cost that is much more palatable for folks who are just entering into wine, or even for those who want to splurge a little bit. It allows us, and we have different price points for our wines. And so we built the concept around these machines.
Okay, and I got so many follow-up questions now. So, so that machine, does it extend the life of a bottle of wine?
Yeah, so up to 30 days, if you're at home and you pop a bottle, you have depending on, who you talk to, varying people talk, 3 to 4 days. I say 3 to 5 days before you start to taste the difference, in that wine. With those machines, again, we can get up to 30 days, of shelf life, which is great, because no one wants to waste wine.
Plus, you know what? It's one of those deals where, now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but a lot of times for noobs like me who don't drink wine that often, right? But when I go out and I really want to have a nice glass of wine, a lot of times you go to a restaurant and that nice glass of wine is sold by the bottle. So so now you got $170 or $150 or some, amount more than I'm willing to pay for a bottle of wine. But this allows people to sample like really nice wines maybe by the glass. Yes,
you can even buy the ounce, so you can come in and, say, I have a really nice Barolo that's in my machine. That's pretty pricey. And, you may not, if you never had that, you may not feel comfortable saying, I'm going to pay $25, $26 a glass, but I'm okay with paying maybe $3 for an ounce. And if I enjoy it, hey, you know what? That was great. I can have a glass of that. And if I didn't enjoy it, you know what? I'm out of $3, but at least I tried it. So, that machine allows us to do a number of different things. And that's one of them, allowing customers to come in and kind of sample, before they buy.
I love it. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. Because I was like, because I really do want to try those fancy schmancy wines, but I don't have $100 to put on a bottle. So yeah, maybe I just want a few ounces to see if there's nothing worse than popping over an expensive bottle of wine and not liking the way it tastes.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to scroll down here on your site because there's something else I wanted to show people who might be watching this right now. And that's where you guys are. Okay. So if you're looking for GRNoir, you've seen the inside here, right here on the website. You can see the map. If I can scroll in here, right there on Division. All right. So what's around it, right? What can we find that people might already know? Rockwell Republic. A lot of people are familiar with that restaurant. Been out there numerous times. So if you know where Rockwell is, just up the street on the corner of Division and what is that crossroad right there? Is that Weston?
Yeah, we're right next door to Rockwell Republic. They are our neighbors.
There you go.
They're good neighbors too.
Yeah, they've been great.
I'll tell you what, dinner at Rockwell, pop over to the GRNoir for some after dinner wine with some jazz. Are you kidding me? That's your dream date night. It is waiting for you out there. So before we bring, I'm going to bring Kevin in now, but before I do that, before I bring Kevin in, let's talk about how this, sadly, is the only place in town. I mean, that focuses specifically on jazz, which is Kevin's wheelhouse. But talk about that. Were you surprised when you found out that West Michigan didn't have other jazz clubs? I mean, there's a jazz, grand jazz, the festival that comes through, but a place to go that's dedicated just to this genre of music.
Yeah, I think it was surprising, but it was also, we saw an opportunity. We know that this is that you can get jazz every night of the week in Grand Rapids at a different location, but you can't get a place that's solely dedicated. And it's our way of paying homage to our ancestors and who developed jazz and gave jazz to the world. And it totally revolutionized music as we know it in every place in the world. That there's a genre of jazz. And it creates a vibe. And I'm using that word intentionally because that's what our customers say to us, that this is a whole vibe. Yeah. They come in and I love the vibe. I love the feel. I love the warm colors. And that's what we want people to feel is the warmth of jazz, the communal aspect of jazz. And we have been able to partner with Kevin Jones, who is absolutely phenomenal in his craft, as well as the music curator for the only wine and jazz bar in Grand Rapids. And it has been a true pleasure to work with him and meet all the folks who have helped us bring the vision of GRNoir wine and jazz to life.
What do you think of that, Kevin? Talk about an introduction. I mean, well, Hold on, I got you muted here. Let me unmute you. It's my fault, Kevin. Go ahead.
I said, I don't know if I could live up to all of that.
Well, now you have to. I mean, it's a matter of public record. Kevin, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got this gig of curating the music for a jazz club.
My background would take way too. I've been playing music professionally since I was 13. So that was 40 something years ago. I don't want to give away my age, right? But you know, I've worked in the industry for years and years and years. Played with a lot of different people in the R&B scene, pop, Whitney Houston, Isley Brothers. I played with Archie Shepp, Reggie Workman, some of the icons in the jazz world. I moved here to Grand Rapids about 5 years ago.
What was it? Wait. What was your first impression? All right, you first, because I'm a transplant too, so I'm curious to get what was your vibe about Grand Rapids?
My vibe was that you know, there is a small community of really great musicians here, and we're all almost like a small family, and every month it seemed like I was uncovering a different talent. You know, like there was somebody else that I met that was just extremely talented. Everybody was really, really warm. The only thing that was missing was a club where where there was jazz and focused solely on that music, like you were saying before. And as far as getting the gig, I volunteered.
You were like, hey, that sounds like something I'd be into, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, we were in the middle of a pandemic. We still are. However, I wanted to utilize my time in a way that was constructive and productive, and that would help not just myself, but others. And I think that, you know, for Grand Rapids, Michigan, to be the second largest city in Michigan without a jazz club. Like there are clubs that feature jazz, like Rockwell's has jazz on Monday. Sunday night, the Speakeasy has a jazz night. And then they have some jazz at Noto's Italian restaurant out towards Cascade. But there's not a truly jazz club. And that's what was missing. And when my fiance noted, hey, they're opening up a jazz club, you should get in touch with them, I wrote Nadia and Shaitan, and the rest is history.
You're like, what? Yeah, actually, you heard that, the jazz club. So you're right, though, Kevin. You mentioned something that I think is key here, and that is you can get a live performance of jazz music in different places. What you can't get is the experience of a jazz club. And that is a completely different, I'm going to use the word again, vibe than it is from when you go to, say, a night out to experience some jazz at, say, Speakeasy or Noto's. This is its own thing, and it kind of gives you a physical reaction when you're in there. It really changes the mood, the vibe. I love that word. I keep using it. But that's really what it is. I mean, it's that vibe that you feel like, I'm in a different zone right now. I'm feeling this. So when it comes to curating music, I got to ask both of you. Okay, so Nadia and Shaitan, by the way, if you're just now joining us, Facebook, hi, Todd Chance here, along with Shaitan and Nadia. They are the owners of GRNoir. It's a wine and jazz club on Division right here in Grand Rapids, along with Kevin Jones. He's the music curator who determines who's going to be playing at that club. So we got Nadia and Shaitan, the wine folk. We got Kevin Jones, the music folk. Do you ever get together and try to pair them? Because I know that you can pair wine with food, you know, white with fish and red with this. Is there certain musicians or styles of jazz that pair better with a certain wine? I know it's kind of a silly question, but I was just curious.
No, it's not. You know, actually this summer we did on our back deck. We did a Instagram live where I paired jazz with barbecue. I paired jazz with popcorn. So no, it's not. It's honestly you can pair jazz
with jazz too. We did an Instagram.
I did
live.
Instagram with jazz. So you know, for me, jazz and wine are so complex. They're so nuanced, right? I was thinking just the other day, listen to Duke Ellington and Coltrane in a sentimental mood. And if you listen to that, if you can't feel that, then we got to check your pulse. I mean, it's just an amazing song.
And what do you pair with it?
I pair with, I think of a Pinot Noir. And the reason why is because Pinot Noir from Burgundy, France, is a really finicky grape. It's hard to grow and then let it get to the place where you can cultivate it to turn it into wine. And so when I think of in a sentimental mood, I'm think of how difficult it must have been for them difficult for me and through my lens of trying to create that sound. But, it just goes to show the talent that Duke Ellington and John Coltrane, had to pull that off. And so it's a really smooth sound. And Pinot Noir, again, is a really nice, light, smooth grape. And so you put that on and get you a glass of Pinot Noir.
See,
you're out of here.
There is no other psalm who pairs with jazz the way it's amazing to me. And he's done that with I'm thinking about that spicy Ciroc Cab blend that you put with some snappy sort of hip hop flavored jazz because it's kind of spicy.
Yeah, so you look at a Cabernet Sauvignon, which is a bigger, bolder, fruitier grape.
That's my wine. That's my wine.
Yeah. And I think of more of a neo soul big band. They have this genre now of jazz, that's around, that's called trap house jazz. They're putting a really nice hip hop beat to it, but they still have the essence of what the essence of what jazz sounded like. And so I mean it just I yeah,
I can see it. You're feeling it. That's what you're doing. You're feeling it right now. Hey, Kevin, let's talk about the musicians that you're bringing in. Obviously, there's got to be a lot of people out there who are looking for gigs, right?
I have to laugh because there's been a lot of talk. First of all, there's been a lot of talk about restaurants closing down and restaurant workers like servers, cooks, all that goes into the restaurant business. But a lot of times the news media fails to mention about the artists that appear at these various venues, how much we've been affected by the pandemic. I mean, musicians, actors, singers, dancers, behind the scenes people like sound engineers, lighting people, we have been totally destroyed by this pandemic. There's nothing. I mean, Broadway is closed down. Broadway is closed down. That is it's left such a big hole in our industry. And so because of that, there are people fighting to get into play. Right now, at this moment, we're only booking live jazz 2 nights a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And the response from the community has been as soon as there is an opening, the reservations are completely booked. It's hard to get in there. I have people calling me not only for gigs, but for reservations. You have some kind of can you talk to the owners about I want to get my girlfriend in, and I'm like, listen, I can't do anything about that. And eventually we're hoping to branch out and have more nights with live music. But it's everything is slowly but surely a wait and see kind of attitude.
Sure.
As far as picking musicians and styles of music, it's almost like Chaton, how he picks the wine, because I will get a go ahead. The final say is always up to Nadia and Chaton, but I will recommend certain groups. And I'm using Michigan as the whole state. So I try to, pan out over and try to present a diverse palette of musicality, age, gender, style, genre,
Nose. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not.
Exactly. Those that play kind of more in a standard traditional jazz mode as opposed to like trap house or hip hop jazz. Uh, um, Latin jazz. We have on Cinco de Mayo, we have a group coming in that's like a Latin jazz group. So there are, we celebrated Black History Month in February, Women's History Month in March. April is Jazz Appreciation Month. So we go on, and we try to really diversify everything. And it's hard because my phone is just like, I'm the busiest person.
But what Kevin is not going to share is not only his talent to play music, but his passion and his ear to hear music. A lot of reason why we're sold out Wednesdays and Saturdays because of the talent that's coming in. People leave when they hear live music there on Wednesday and Saturday without failure, they stop and say, this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we need. And so, we appreciate Kevin. We appreciate all that he's doing.
Absolutely.
With the music. He's bringing, he hasn't missed yet. He hasn't missed yet. And so
no pressure, Kevin. No
pressure
pressure
at all. Yeah. So, kudos to him because he's doing an amazing job in bringing the talent into GRNoir and highlighting talent that we have in Grand Rapids. We have a lot of talent here. And so we're glad to have the space to where we can showcase that.
I also like to add that, Grand Rapids, people don't know this, but Grand Rapids has a really rich history of jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't really know that. There were clubs like Barnett's, Dr. J's, the Blue Note. We had people that lived here like Jimmy Forrest and Kurt Purnell. My father-in-law, Mel Dalton, Dave Hay, Wilton Machin. We had a lot of different artists that grew up here not grew up here, but that played here and resided here. And it's sort of been more like the gigs around here have been more like cocktail hour music, like really not, we were just kind of in the background.
Right.
But because of Nadia and Chaton's vision for wine and jazz, we've been able to present music that's actually a presentation rather than us being in the background.
Love that point, Kevin. Love that point. You're so right. Jazz very often gets used as dinner music, right? It's just kind of playing in the background while you do the conversation. You're bringing that more to the forefront. The wine and the jazz share the stage. It's not one over the other. It is a pairing, a true pairing of two passions. There you go. Pair your passions of wine and jazz. Kevin, thank you so much for the time. I'm almost out of time for all of us. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, Kevin, and good luck answering your phone. I'm sure it's ringing right now.
It did just ring. So.
There you go. I love it. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Kevin. All right, guys. So just to wrap things up, let's get my ugly mug out of there, but you guys on screen. There you go. So just to wrap things up, I think for those who are going to watch this, who have watched it live and who are going to watch it on social later, should know this main point. Stop me if I'm wrong. West Michigan has a jazz dedicated club that not only brings you the diversity and phenomenal talent of the state playing live for you, but it has wines that you may not want to buy a bottle of because you're thinking, man, I don't know, or maybe you just didn't want to try this, or basically the complexity and diversity of wine and the complexity and diversity of jazz together makes GRNoir wine and jazz. And it's all due to Chaton and Nadia. Thank you guys so much for the time. Give your address out again, ways people can find you, your phone number, however you want people. How many people are you seating? Let's get some people in your doors.
Sure. So we're located 35 South Division at the corner of Division and Weston. Again, Rockaway Republic is a landmark many people know. So come on out and join us. Reservations can be made online at GRNoir.com.
They're not required, but they're encouraged if you want to secure a spot. but don't hesitate to walk in. We also have wine clubs. We do private tastings and events. We do curbside as still, and so you can order your wine online and pick it up, or we can ship it to you across the state.
I'm going to show you by the way, you were talking about the wine club. I got that here on the,
yes,
right here. There's Psalms picks right there. You got sommeliers, got some picks there, but right here, I think I saw something where you can actually get. Where is that at? Is it oh, there it is, Wine Club right there on your menu. April Wine Club. You got the Explorer Club right here, the Admire, the Savor, and the Baller for those who really want to get those top tier bottles, all waiting for you, and then they're curbside or shipped to you second Monday of every single month to get that beautiful wine. So want to make sure I shared that as well. Thanks for bringing that up. I had almost forgotten. So again, thank you for the time, Nadia. Thank you for the time, Shaitan, and thank you for the hard work that you're doing. Let's make sure this locally owned. There's so many reasons that you should be going here besides just the wine and the jazz, right? But let's support these locally owned businesses and head out to GRNoir. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. All right. That does another one. That's another one. Another one in. Thanks for joining us on a Morning Mix Social. Todd Chance here. Keep in mind, many more of these are going to be coming, especially next week. So if you like these conversations, make sure you drop a hello in the comments, a share or a like, especially that share if you know somebody who likes wine or jazz, because there's a place they should be. GRNoir Wine and Jazz Club. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.